Kironosuke, she addressed the downhearted people gathered in the dining hall. So last time there was going to be a feast. Um, I came to the conclusion that at least one person pretty much needs to be hanged, that they wasted a day, that somebody died or two people died because of corruption and other things, and the wolves. Who knows what's actually going on? But we are going to hear to see how the story unravels. And here we go. Does it look like anyone is up for it? The day will end at the rate. The wolves are clearly intending on killing us all. Can we really waste time waiting in a situation like this? It worked in their favor. We had to pick someone to hang, no matter what. Don't you agree, Moro? Alright. Yasunaga, try talking to everyone upstairs. That was where Tei-san looked after Haru-chan, and Chimi looked after Kori-san. You don't have to, Mochi. Chika Mochi winked at me for some reason. Yeah, take your time. Everyone has to be there after all. Please do. Now is my chance. Yeah, Sunaka-kun, can we talk? About what? Sorry about your brother. Thank you. That makes it a bit better for him and I. That's a very mature way to talk about it. Maybe I should have sounded more my age then. This boy was already pretty mature. You didn't get along with him. That's not it. We didn't always see eye to eye, especially recently, but he was a really good guy. I think so too. It seemed like deep down the tough guy routine was really just an act. Did he get along with your mother? He did, despite all he said. He really loved her, and she probably loved him more than me. Oh, that's not what I was asking, sorry. All human relations were complicated. Prying too deeply wasn't a good idea. I'm sorry, what did you want to know? A few things, mostly about the legend. Tei-san is the better person for that. I need the opinion of someone more rational. First question, why do you think the wolves killed humans? Because they were angry at humans for tricking and killing them. Let me rephrase that. Why do the people given the role of the wolves suddenly become able to kill their friends and family with no remorse? Huh? Are you suspicious of Haru-chan and I? No, sorry, that's not it. I want you to look at this from a general perspective. Say you've been told that you're a wolf. Could you just accept it and start killing people? No way. Exactly. No way you could. Of course there are those who could, but most couldn't. Neither out of fear or guilt. Moji is a good example. The people here are afraid of certain things, but they do have lines drawn in the sand. If the lives of those they care about are on the line, they won't hesitate to face the corruption of the wolves. That's only because Mochi is special. He's a genius. A genius? Yes, he can easily make predictions and decisions normal people can't. And he's readily throw away anyone or anything he doesn't care about. Everyone else thinks he's just weird, but I think he's a genius. I see. I think I agree with you there. But in a way, what I'm saying is that you people aren't the type to magically become murderers just because of some corruption. Of course, there'd be people who do it because the corruption would come for them. If they didn't, but even they wouldn't do it without hesitation. But the wolves we're dealing with aren't hesitating at all. I don't know where you're going with this, but I think it depends on the personality of whoever the wolf is. It'd be easy for people who never had any aversions to killing. But there are two wolves, right? Yeah, seems that way. I see. Let me ask you this. Does Yasumizu have more than one person capable of murder? One psycho in a group of people I could see, but two seems pretty unlikely. I think a better assumption is that there are some way to turn even an ordinary person into a ruthless killer. If that isn't true, the lack of infighting doesn't make sense under the current circumstances. When you put it like that, this is just something I heard from a teacher at school, but you could do it by giving them something to fight for, couldn't you? Basically, you need to make them think they're doing the right thing. That's the wolves are doing the right thing, I see. That's an interesting way to look at it. It's how countries convince their people to go to war. Yes, that's what the lesson's about, but I think that your perspective is a bit flawed. What do you mean? For example, most of the girls in this settlement are timid and prefer to leave the big decisions to the men. Even Haru-chan is like that. So if the wolves are a man or a woman, it's entirely possible that the man's taking the lead and doing the killing while the woman is just following along. Also, for all we know, the wolves could be arguing all the time. They just didn't happen to hesitate in killing us one time. Yeah, good point, but I do think that there is some secret to why this feast lasted so long. Traditions like this usually die out. It makes me think that there must be a way to ensure the killing continues. Your idea is certainly interesting. I don't think you should call it interesting, not in a situation like this. Oh, sorry about that. That was insincere of me. Let me ask you one more time then. Go ahead. I was working under the assumption that nothing particularly strange is happening here, but what about you? Do you think something mysterious is going on? I don't want to believe it, but there is. Why is that? Did you see a god, a monster, or something? No, it's hard to put it in the words, but the fact that the mist appeared when we had 4 outsiders here made it seem like it was a work of higher power. No matter how I look at it, I don't think mists like this could have been produced by human hands. Not to mention that it's strange how the wolves can enter sheltered houses and kill the people there. There's also the fact that if one of us killed someone, you'd see a change in their behavior. We can't explain those things, so yes, I do think there's something mysterious going on. Oh, I see. Alright, sorry for asking such a weird question. By the way, who do you think are the wolves? Haruki Fusashi-san. Cut me off with a stern voice. Sorry about that. There's something we talk about in the feast. You don't have the right to ask about that. Oh, my bad. Listen. We'll have to hold the feast to decide which one of us should be sacrificed today. It's important to propose who we think is suspicious, but it's also very dangerous. Something we said outside the feast could be used against us. The fact that you asked me that makes feel like someone maliciously is using you against me. Please stop. Good point. I'm sorry, really. Oh, but now I won't blindly believe that you're an ill omen, but I won't stop suspecting that you're involved somehow. If I ever find out you had something to do with Yoshitsugi's death, you'll what? He glared at me. I had to avenge my little brother. I see. Of course you would. I'll just head to the cage and do my best as unsuspicious as possible. You shouldn't do that. Why? Today's feast might drag on until evening. It'd be too late by then. You should go to your room in the dorm and ask someone outside to block the door handle with a stick. I see, that's a good idea. This boy was really smart. If Takumi Moroshi was a site foreman type, he was the manager type. Can I ask you something too? Of course. Do you like Chini? Whoa. From a political standpoint, I should say no, but yeah, she's likable. I see. Well, she seems pretty available, so she'd probably date me if I were or anyone asked. Oh, are you being considerate of me? I had that feeling that Moji told you something weird. Mm-hmm. It's not like that. What I felt for her is a thing of the past. She was the only older girl around these parts, so I was attracted to her. That's all. This place was gloomy and serious, and she was the only free-spirited person here. She's as amazing as Mochi. You're saying she was a rascal. Yes, so much that she almost killed someone. Hold on. Well, it was an accident, though it's strange you think that she's available. Chini is actually pretty shy. Is she now? Or maybe she just changed a lot during her 3 years of college. So yeah, I've already gotten over her. Now I feel like you're the one being weirdly considerate. That's not healthy, you know. It's all good if you like her. This is hardly the time or place for that. Good point. That was it, huh? Eventually, everyone gathered and went to the hall. Just as I told, I would ask them to lock me in my room. After getting everyone, including Takumi-san and Tei-san, to understand, Yasunaga-kun, Chimi, and I went to the dorm. Chini, you think you can just jump from the windows to the branches? The two verified how secure a place like this was locked to lock me up in, and if they were the wolves, it'd be impossible to outwit them. Humans stood no chance. Alright, fine by me. It's gonna be hard, but I hope you do well. I'm more worried about you. Alright, we're locking you in then. Yeah, you be careful too. And you're now your mother's only child. Yeah, that's true. So the door was closed, and I could hear them set up the stick. So far, the only ones I've talked to face to face were Chimi, Takumi-san, Mochi, and Yasunaga. The only ones I hadn't talked to were Te, Rikaku, Miko, and Kori-san, Haru, Kiyonosuke, and the old wolf guy. A whole 7. I had no idea if there was a significance in that, but I wanted to know what kind of people they all were. 4 people had already died, and if you ignored me, there was 11. Once the snake revealed, Kiyonosuke was, well, he was the snake. Takumi-san would be the only other one confirmed roles. The other 9 would be suspects. And the one hanged, there'd be 8. Then one died in the night, there'd be 7. That's still quite a lot. They had to hurry before it was too late. Whoa, what? The supposedly fixed door slightly opened up. It was Chimi. She threw a yellow food box. The one you can find at any convenience store. Thanks, seriously. Oh, by the way. Tell the monkey to reveal themselves. Think about it. You'll understand, and you'll know you have to do something before it's too late. There's no time to go. She closed the door and put the stick back. Alright, what's next? Haru-chan, is the wound alright? I know it's not a good time to ask, but what happened? Whatever, let's just start.
始まるわよ。
全員に杯が回った。読み耳の宴の始まりよ。
Let's get to it. Takumi-san Takumi ni. Did the snake power work last night? Yeah, it did. Well, tell us. Kiyo is a human. Of course I'm no wolf. That means Moro and I are no longer suspects, right? It does. Let's look at it what we have to decide today. If we continue based on the late Kanzo Makishima's decision.
あれ、なんでおっちゃんが仕切んの？
I don't mind it at all. The eldest, Yamakaya-san, wants to take over.
私はそんなん苦手。
In that case, it's only natural that myself, Moro, adults confirm to the humans, and should be the ones to lead.
たくみに、おっちゃん鬱陶しいからたくみにが仕切っ。
No, Kiyo, keep going. He's still shocked from the elder's death, no need to force him. But I will do everything I can in his place. Moro, you consult Madame Orobi.
あの子。
Kori-san. Here's my proposal. Let's do whatever we choose the Hingsa one today.
ちょっと、それは乱暴じゃないです。
But it's necessary. If we don't, the wolves will eventually kill the last human. Exactly. We have to harden our hearts if we want to survive the feast.
そうですね。読み人はな。
くくれやひどい。
間違えたらどうすんの？たとえ露見しなかったとしても、間違えて人を殺した事実を一生背負うんだよ。
It's true that it would be unpleasant, but such deaths wouldn't be in vain.
間違えて殺したら死んだ人は無駄死にでしょうに。
Watch your words when talking to your superiors. Listen, for now, we only have the surefire ways to get rid of suspects. Surely you understand. Yes, the snake's power.
一人殺して母数自体を減らすってことでしょ。それは分かってるけども、受け入れられると思ってるんですか？そんなの無理だわ。殺された人からしたら、後でどっちが勝とうが関係ないじゃない。
That's why we need to reach a consensus here. We need to agree if the other survives, I don't mind dying. Is that seriously all we have? Yes, that's all we have. The laws of the mountain remain merciless.
冗談じゃないわ。他人のためにくくられろって言われて、はい、そうですかって納得できるわけない。
Oh, and that would make you a wolf, wouldn't it?
な。
You have no intent to put your life on the line for Yasumisu, and that makes you Yasumisu's enemy. Is that what you are saying? Am I wrong? People of Yasumisu, this is the test of your unity.
調子乗ってんな。
I'm only giving advice as someone from Kamifuyoshi, and as one of those whose suspicions have been
野里
lifted.
清之介さん、あなた、自分が蛇に診断されるまでこのことを黙ってたでしょ。
What are you getting at?
昨日の時点であなた気づいてたんでしょ。死んでも文句言わないって同意を持って団結する必要があるって。でもそれを表明することで蛇に調べてもらう権利が暴騰することも気づいてた。だから黙ってたんですよ。
That's just an assumption.
でも確かに疑いが晴れた上藤吉の人間に死んでも文句言うなって言われたって納得できるわけないわ。匠になんとか言ってやってよ。
But he is right.
匠に私は賛成します。疑われることもすでに申し上げました。こうなれば上藤吉も安水も関係ございません。それに私は勝手な思いですが、心は安水の一員だと。ああ、誰かさんと違ってご立派なお心持ちじゃないですかね。 ただこの子にそれを求めるのはちょっと。
みんな
We have no choice. There can be no exceptions.
ならこの子をくくる必要があるならば
What? You mustn't. We only need the blood of one per day.
私が勝手に死ねばよいのです。汚れは咎を犯した者に来る。死ん
But you're being a pain, Kyo. If you're gonna lead, do it right.
はい
Think about what you're saying. Sorry, but you're ahead of Kami Fujiyoshi, one of our oppressors.
匠上松様に無礼は
See, you people are the reason why Ba-chan got so scared. Don't act like you're one of us.
申し開きもございません。
And why are you in Yasumizu anyway? Honestly, I'm inclined to just start leveling accusations at this point. Takumi ni, are you saying all of this is Kami Fujiyoshi's doing? Who knows? Maybe not at all. But their efforts to keep us here show that they know something is up, don't they? At the very least, I really can't believe some guys who think the feast is old wives' tale and that the wolves are really on the human side. They knew that the people of Yasumizu would die if the mist came. They deprived us not only our prosperity but even our lives. Slander! I wouldn't say that Kami Fujiyoshi is a group of saints, but they're a resourceful and dignified people. Not to mention sensible. It's the ages where science regimed supreme. Of course they don't believe in such old superstitions.
だからじゃない
What do you mean?
清之助さんは藤吉村のそういう秘密を教えてもらってない。そうやって長者はまともって信じて吹聴する広告塔としての価値しかお家の中で認められてないから。
Huh?
だからこの時期の安水が危険ってことの配慮もなく里帰りの投留先として野里屋敷を強制されたみたいな。
Now you're crossing the line. Are you saying my family abandoned me?
ああ、ありえるね。僕ややっすんと同じだ。
The heads are cruel. Those who lose a struggle for power, those deemed incapable, or simply those who dislike the ones in charge can simply be sent here. Our situation is one thing, but Mom, she came here all the way from Tohoku and married into the Hijiguchi family and got thrown out the moment Dad died.
そんなの別によかった。
Mom, sorry, I didn't mean to.
私にはね、義継とあなたがいればそれだけでよかったのよ。
Anyways, there's no doubt that they twisted our fates. I agree with Takumi on that.
残念だったわね。来る羽目になったのが。
I'm not blaming Yasumisu's people. What's gotten into
ど
you?
うせみんな死ぬのよ。おじいちゃんだって選ぶってたくせに結局簡単に死んじゃったんだから。こんなのやってられないわよ。どうしてあの時はそんな感じじゃなかったのにどうしたのさ。もう嫌なのよ。
悲しいの。
どうしたんですか。
狼が来たら誰もが鬼になりよる。
そうですな。だからこそ読み人をくくらねば。
What a mess. Whatever. At least we know that Kami Fujiyoshi's people won't come and save us.
道崩れちゃってたしね。
That's one reason. In a way, I think we should trust Kyo now. My reason's the same as Chimi.
あらら、お気の毒。
Think what you want. In a way, when we have to hang someone, Matsu is the easiest target. Keep acting like that and you'll be dead in no time.
ではどうすれば
Just be honest and tell us what you know. Keeping quiet is the worst, and letting others take care of it won't do it either, right? Why not just take control of the feast, Moro? I just tried acting like the old man. That ain't me. I'll leave the rest up to you. I don't have much left to say. Let's just hold a vote. Hang whoever ends up being
だから
picked.
それは乱暴だって
Of course, you are free to argue your case, especially if you can prove you are more valuable alive. However, I don't want to hear any "I'm human" or "I don't want to die" non-arguments. Everyone would say that. The chosen one given up and gives his life, leaving the fate of Yasumizu to the rest of
首
us.
吊り松でくくりますかね。
That's what that should do the job. How do we vote? We'll start with the elders. You can have brief interviews too. When the voter decides, I'll record it in my notepad.
記名投票ありえない対面で誰かに死ねっていうみたいな真似できるわけないでしょうに
I've had enough of Shirazara's nitpicking. I'm starting. So what's your name?
じっちゃんだ
That's the old guy. The old guy who cried wolf.
おじいさんは私が若い頃からおじいさんでしたよ。
Do you understand what I'm saying, sir? Which one of us do you think is a wolf?
私なんで
狼怖い怖い
One vote for Chimisaruzawa.
ちょっと待ってよ本気でこんないい加減な決め方で人を殺すつもり
We have no choice. He's a participant too. We can't deny his right to vote, can we?
匠兄ちゃんなんとか言ってよ
Yasunaga? Who do you think? I'll wait and see. Same here.
ちょっとそんな
じゃあ私だね。私もちいちゃんに入れようかしら。
なんでタエばあちゃん
悪いね。実はあんまりわからんのよ。じゃ
If the others survive, I don't mind dying.
そうね私は同意しないわ休みずのみんなは大事だけど自分の命だって大事だものそれに私は自分が狼じゃないって知ってるしおとなしく殺される気にはならないいいわそのルールに乗るこのままだとそれだけで殺されそうだし他に方法もないのは確かさあタエばあちゃんちえみはおとなしくなるよ投票先変えないうんじゃあいいやさっきはちえみは怪しかったもんね
Are you done, Moro? It's your turn. I'm forwarding for Mako.
たくみ兄ちゃんあなたは
Do I even need to give a reason? I know she's a kid, but we basically know nothing about her. It's just way too weird. I don't know how true the legends are, but if there were something fishy comes from Saranaga, it's only fair to think she's fishy too. Takumi ni, if that's how it worked, what would be the point of this bothersome feast?
僕もそういう決め方ができる気はしないんだけどな
Even if she didn't come from Saranaga, we still don't know who or what she is. Think about it this way. What if this girl really was a wolf? If we all ignored her, caused her just because she's a kid, killed us all, do you get that?
ぷーん
Looks like you're thinking too, Moro. Next, madam.
牧島春さんに
Mom?
なんで私逆に言ってごらんなさいなどうして今日逃げたりなんてしたのか
おじいさんを殺して義継を殺して気まずくなったからじゃないの。違いますじゃあ言ってごらんなさい。怖かったから、こんなとこにいたくなかったから。嘘をおっしゃい。
Kori-san, stop. His death hurt all of us, even me and Haru. All of us hurt. Orobi-san, what will you do with your vote? Haru, it is. I'm next. I'm voting for the nameless old man. Huh? Huh?
どういう理由で？
But why? That last exchange made me realize that he's not rational. We don't need someone like that around.
そんな一方的な。
He's regularly said that the wolves were coming even before all of this. That's more than enough to find him suspicious. Still unfair? I think he's either completely insane or secretly knows something. Have you ever considered that there were feasts before this one? He should have been around for at least one.
私はないですよ。70なるまで生きて1。
But he could have known. He's older than you, after all. He could know something, and he might be unable to say it because of senility, or might be hiding it out of malice. With this vote, I might be able to get info out of him. And if not, he's worthless.
この場における価値のあるなし。そんな理由で。
You say that, but if we continue, we will make more progress
どういうこ
tomorrow.
とでしょうか。
Today, Moro will use his power to investigate someone. We'll know the truth about one another person. The spider will once again protect Moro. By repeating this, it'll only take 3 times to know who's a wolf and who's not, even if we guess wrong.
そうなる。
And one day, we'll hang someone.
一日に一人
Someone will get killed by the wolves,
一人狼にやられて
and the snake will
一人
reveal
蛇で
another
明ら
person.
かになるなら、一日に3人正
We'll
体
find
が
out
明らか
about
になる。
3 people in
今、
one day.
匠兄ちゃんと野里さんのほか11人が人か狼か不明だから、3、4回か？
Exactly. We'll only have to hang 3 people at most. With that in mind, if you don't want to hang those close to you, you should start with those who aren't. It's all for the good of Yasumizu. Now listen here. I'm arguing to maximize the happiness of the majority, Moro. No, Sato, are you serious? What? Chini's math only works out if the wolf only kills the snake hasn't checked. What if they went after those whose identities were already confirmed? For example, what if they only went for you tonight? I don't think I can agree with voting based on such a flawed conclusion. Don't you think you're being too easy on the idea of killing your own? I haven't said anything about killing my own. I never say that.
ああ
Well, there were some mistakes there, but we're already voting. I'm leaving your decisions to you. Next is Rikako. Going by a sitting order, I'm next. How troubling. I don't have enough info to go on.
なんでそんなに冷静なの？
I'll make a mistake otherwise. That's why you and Mom should calm down, please.
ヤスくん、ちょっと待って。こんな時で悪いんだけど、一つ思いついたことがあるんだけど。
Hmm?
何？
猿って名乗り出てもいいんじゃない？
Why would they? Yasunaga-kun and Sir Makishima said it'd be best if they don't present
いや、
themselves.
私もそうやって何も考えずにいたんだけど、じゃあ猿って何の役に立つの？お互いのことがわかるだけなんでしょ？最初にそれが知れるだけで、その後何かがわかるわけじゃない。
That's true. The only use I can think of is catching fake snakes.
だけど考えてみれば猿は互いに証明できるんだから、ある意味で蛇に調べられたのと同じくらい狼じゃないって信頼できるわけでしょ。
What if they lie?
リスクが高すぎる。例えば私は猿じゃないけど、はい、私猿です。さあ匠兄はどうする？
I'd say, tell me who the other one is.
そう、でも誰も言えない、嘘だから。それでも例えば、はい、モッチーです。
なんでわかったんだ。
いや、冗談はいいから。まあ証明できないわけだよね。
I see. But what if he played along? Cause he thought being a monkey would make
本
himself.
物の猿に名乗り出てもらって、その4人からくくっていく。嘘
That's
をついてまで生き残ろうとするのは狼。その原則ならばそうするのが正しいよね、野里さん。
that's true. Once you clarified that would happen, you shouldn't get anyone pretending to be a monkey. I see. It's too dangerous for both humans and wolves. It's just not
こ
worth
れ
it.
わからない人いる？いないみたいだね。なら名乗り出てくれないかな。これで
はいはーい。
何？もっち、
What is it,
い
Moji?
や、僕が猿なんだ。
さっきの続きじゃなくて？
うん。イエス。僕は猿だ。
So, like, we agree who the other monkey is?
メイコちゃんだ。
Huh? Mako-chan? Is that true?
あのね、昨日の日に起きたらお腹になんかなかった？
She knows the symbols.
はい。信頼モーデと一緒に教えて遊ばせていました。他に猿だって人いないっぽい？じゃあ確定じゃん。
I see. So, they really are the monkeys. Crap, so I wasted my vote.
やり直してもいいと思う。
You want to bend the rules? It's best to make it impossible to retract votes. We have too many people trying to change their votes at the last minute. Good point,
突
fine.
然言い出してごめんね。次、ヤス君に戻る。
I'll be voting for the old man. My reason is to think that staying silent and doing nothing indirectly helps the
じゃあ
wolves.
次は僕だ。タエバーに100万票。
なんじゃって？
One vote each.
じゃあタエバーに1票。知恵姉にいきなり1票入れた。目の付けどころが怪しいもんな。
何言うんかねこの子は。じゃから若いもんはいい加減で
あ、次私か。そうだな。おじいちゃんに1票。
So even you went for him.
黙ってて。理由は現状で他に怪しいと思える人がいないってだけ。以上。
私は植松さんに入れるわ。あなたがきっと汚れを呼び。
違います。私はただ己の役目を果たすために。
じゃあとっとと汚れを引き取ってよ。そうしないのはあなたが狼だからでしょ。
Watch your tongue.
力不足で返す言葉もありません。
You don't have to humble yourself before these people. It's your turn. The people who voted for you must be
ろくでも
suspicious.
ないことを。私は織部安永さんに。
あなたは
I
私
do
は
not find him
疑っ
suspicious,
ているわけで
but
は
I
ありません。
just had a thought.
今この場で
I did say a lot. I can't blame you for thinking that I'm just tricking people. But I don't think I said anything wrong. At least I didn't intend to. I don't mind if you vote for me. I believe that votes to express your outlook are important as well. The old man is at the top with 3 votes. You there, child. You're the last one.
わかる？
誰が狼さんか選ぶの？
そう。
お姉ちゃん。
私？マジですか。
怖い。
私はこの子の方が怖いよ。
We need a final vote. The 9 people besides Chimi and the old man will vote for those.
狼が来る。
The results are in. Old man, 7 votes. Chimi, Sarah, 2
相
votes.
葉とメイコちゃん以外全員じいちゃんじゃん。
Everyone besides Tebe and Mako voted for the old wolf guy. Shut up. Are you ready, sir? We all decided this. Every one of us is equally guilty. Better get ready, old man. Do you understand?
時間が欲しい。
Huh?
斧を片さにゃいかん。
We need to clean up. You want to take care of your belongings. I believe we can allow that
逃
much.
げる気じゃないでしょうね。
Haru-chan,
じゃあ僕がついてく。
you do that. As soon as he returns, we will take him to Saranaga Rikako-san. Where is the rope? It was already evening. As I wind down away the time with some fruitless compensations, I heard noises outside that would brought me back to reality. I heard someone hurry up the dorm stairs. Who's there? I got no response again. What was happening here? Someone was definitely close. It just made me more tense.
春明さん。
Her voice was cut off by a scream, though it was more like intense cursing. It was Takumi-san's voice, no doubt about it. Chimi's left without saying another word. Hold on, open up. I fought the door, but it showed no signs of opening. I can help. Shit. Like hell I was gonna stay out of the loop any longer. Turning around, I went to open the window, decided to try jumping out. Though I was on the 2nd floor, it was too high of a drop. It'd make my leg a little numb, but I jumped out without any hesitation. I probably bent my knee, so I didn't hurt myself at all. Then I ran into the settlement where I heard the voices. I quickly understood the cause of Takumi-san's shouting. They were cries of despair. The reason was somewhere downhill along the way to the graveyard is a small grove, low trees with a carpet of leaf mold below. It would have been hard to see even if there was no mist. You could hear running water nearby. I couldn't see where it came from, but it was probably I don't want to say that's interrogation. A channel for the paddy fields. There was a small crowd gathered. I peeked through a space between them. There were bodies, 2 of them. One was an old man, the other was of a child. Though their appearance were variously different, each was in a similar state. They lay on the ground with their hands over their stomachs, utterly still and covered in blood. There were the corpses of the old man who cried wolf and Chikamochi. Why? What happened? Fuji, weren't you in the dorm? I was until now. Bullshit, you're the one who did this, aren't you? No, I'm not. I just came out of the dorm. I even talked to Chimi.
春明さんじゃないよ、匠兄ちゃん。
Then who did this? Forget that. We need to retreat. There's no point. Don't touch them. We might still make it. They've lost all their blood. Their stomachs open. Their guts are all over. What kind of treatment can bring them back? You know one? Go on. Say it. There's nothing I could say in response. There were 5 of us on the scene. We were vomiting on a nearby bush. Most were proactive, and I could see why they were here, but was out of place. Then I remembered that we were already pretty short-handed. What happened? Who did this?
ご覧を
She pointed the old guy's clothes. There were gatherings of fur all over his garments. A werewolf. If that was the culprit, then there was the work of corruption. Was that what she was saying? No. This was completely different from how the others had died. The wolf proved a little. Let me see the wounds. I told you not to touch it. But this is completely different. Quit acting like you know shit. You'll never find out anything. But if we stop trying to look, we won't understand anything at all. Quit the act, outsider.
匠兄ちゃん落ち着いてよ
Shut up. Everything went to hell when he got here. If he didn't come, none of this. It felt like he was about to grab me. I could clearly see the intense emotion rolling in his eyes. I thought I could get him to trust me, but now it went back to square one. Mochi, why? Why? Down a bit and faced the remains of his dear friend. The expression on the corpse was pale and emotionless. Even a look of ignorance was absent. It almost looked like he was smiling. Did his face muscles simply go limp? This isn't the corruption. How do you know? I'll prove it if you let me pass. He glared at me with immense hatred before letting me through. Look away if you can't stomach this kind of thing. I walked up to the old guy's corpse. He looked at a distance as always, but the lack of blood flowing in his face simply made his appearance even more creepy. I avoided looking at it while I grabbed his neck and rolled him back onto it. With a wet sound, entrails spilled out the wounds in his stomach.
なんて
How horrid. Don't force yourselves, people, except you, Takumi-san. Look, the stomach was clearly torn open by a blade. This isn't something supernatural punishment. It was caused by a person wielding a weapon. And since there's no weapons nearby, it means someone intentionally removed it from the scene. So Yasumisu had someone who's both armed and capable of an act like this. Please give me the details of what happened during the feast. What led this? With several people here to tell me, I ended up with a decent grasp of how today's feast went. Kiyo no Sasuke Nishi had suggested that they chose who to kill by vote. The wolf guy and Chimi ended up the same amount of votes, resulting in a tiebreaker vote. We know Chimi was armed with a knife earlier, so that's pretty weird. If I'm gonna say it myself, it's super weird that there was a blade incision, that she is armed, and I mean, I guess somebody else could have a blade, but from everything we've seen, she has a blade. Most ended up voting for the wolf guy, sentencing him to death. He said he wanted to take care of some things, so he and Chikamochi went out, while the rest stayed here. There they were. Were they really the only ones who's left? Yeah, the feast was still going on at that point. Them leaving was an exception. You expected them to come back and resume the feast. What would have had done?
よその方にはちょっと
Alright, but in a way, they didn't come back. How long did you wait for them? No more than an hour. We stated the worry and went out to search. Found them in less than 10 minutes. So the culprit was one that was not present. Chimi, Takumi-san, Yasunaga-kun, and Rika-ku. The five in the hall, Nosato, Kori, Meiko, Haru, and Tei, simply couldn't be responsible. So someone killed the two, changed into some clean clothing, and came back to pretend to keep searching.
不可能よ、そんなの。
Did you see each other while searching?
見ていません。離れて探していましたから。
Let's return to the hall. We then went to the hall. Kiyonosuke kept watch and confirmed that no one besides the victims' search party had left the building. That's limited the potential murderers to the search party and I. I asserted that I was still in the room while all happened. They believed me for now, though Takumi continues to suspect that I used some sort of trick to escape and commit murders. Well, that was fair, considering everyone else was with them, but I knew I wasn't the culprit. They left only one possibility. They died right after they left the hall. Then someone removed the weapon. You're still the one who could have done it.
だから、私が部屋にいるの聞いたって言ってるじゃん。
I'll say as much as I have to. I'm innocent, and since I am, something else had to be responsible for their deaths. I see you're avoiding using the word murder. You notice, I am, as it stands. This could be suicide, death by illness, or poison, followed by your discussion of the corpse and removal of the weapon. How would something like that benefit us? If you ask me, things would become much simpler if we assumed you and Shamie are partners in crime, don't you think? I don't know, but doing that wouldn't benefit me either. Really? Tell me, is there any proof you didn't know each other before this? We didn't, obviously, but what does that have to do with anything? The people here believe on airy legend you could have come here to take advantage of that and pretend to be monsters to murder them for your own enjoyment. Please stop. There are some lines you shouldn't cross.
やめなさい、あんた方。
Tei walked out of the hall. I could see Haru, Meiko, and Kiri. That made a total of 10 survivors, 9 if you exclude me.
誰が近持ちとおじいさんを殺しても、それは掟に反して行われたこと。神内様は必ず汚れをお与えになるわよ。
She put her hands together in prayer and faced the peak of Mount Shinai, the opposite side of Sanranaga. Strangely enough, that was enough for everyone to fall silent. Reikeko Amatsu joined and Meiko copied her. This was the settlement way of solving things. They gave up on disclosure and just left it all in the hands of a higher power. Bei-chan, what do we do now? One has already spilled blood for the day. The elder has died.
宴はしまいにして片しよう。
Alright, Yasunaga, help out. I can. You can just sit still. The situation was only getting worse. Soon after that, it was the time to shelter, so everyone retreated to their houses. I woke up at 5 in the morning. The window was still boarded up, so I couldn't see anything outside. All I could do was sit around and wait. Eventually, I could hear the objects keeping me in get removed, and I was greeted by Yasunaga, Arobi, and Chimi. There were 2 actually survived. I met up with Haru. Her face was pale, and she had bags under her eyes. No one here looked any more healthy. She was even beyond that point. She had gone completely meek, too. She lost another friend, after all. We arrived at the dining hall, but found no one here. Door was unlocked. That was a bad sign. And with that bad sign, we are stopping here today, and we are going to continue in the next one. Thanks, guys, for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.